One, two, four, follow. It's time to match the gas with NBN Motorsports Carl, the Carl of the number 66 car in the Cup Series and in the Xfinity Series. How are you doing?
Doing well this evening, sir.
So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into racing.
I grew up in racing. My dad was uh, raced in the Baby Grand Series. I was born in 1967, and he had a race car about 71. So I just grew up around race cars, and that's what I wanted to do, and I've just kept doing it.
So tell us, how did you get started in racing with the team, NBM Motorsports?
I created MBM Motorsports. It's mine. Um, I started racing in a mini stock class. Somebody trying to call. That happens often. So anyway, um, we my dad was a Volkswagen mechanic. He raced the Volkswagen in the Baby Grand Series in 1975, 76, or 74, 75. Then he got a Pinto and a Mercury Capri there later. His two brothers are also Volkswagen mechanics. So in 1983, when Orange County reopened under the ownership of Mason Day at South Boston, Virginia Speedway, um, we created the mini stock class. I used to go out there at 12 years old, and we'd go down, the back gate was down, and we'd go out there and just play on Sundays. My dad and his two brothers, and they let me drive some, and just kind of had fun. And when the racetrack opened back up, um, we created the mini stock class and about 5 or 6 other people there, and so I drove a Volkswagen Beetle from 1983 until 1989, when I moved up into the street stock class and started racing a Camaro, the first thing with the engine in the front of me.
So tell me, in your career racing, is NASCAR the hardest sport you've been involved in?
No, no, it's not.
NASCAR is not.
It's the it, it's not as physically demanding as other sports. When I come through high school, I ran cross country, I wrestled, uh, I tried to play baseball and football and tennis and just anything. I was there, but I never was really good at any of them. I just played them. I knew the game. But when it become into racing, which was kind of my passion, um, I learned that you could be smart enough to make your car drive better and brave enough that you could go faster. And at 16, 17 years old, you really don't have a filter on what's going to hurt and what's not. You just go wide open into anything. But I had to race against my two brothers and my dad and some of the friends of the family. And I would just basically study what I needed to do to my car to make it go faster until I uh, figured out how to run those guys. And so it was always tough outrunning your uncles and your dad. And I wound up managing a Domino's Pizza. I was working at Domino's while I was going to college, and they gave me an opportunity to manage one of the stores, and they would sponsor my race car. So that's how I got to move up from a Volkswagen into a Chevrolet Camaro and running a street stock because Domino's Pizza sponsored me, and I managed their store. But I had to give up going to South Boston to race when just do every other weekend at Orange County Speedway.
Yeah. So tell us, what does NBM Motorsports mean to you? I mean, you you have a passion for racing. I mean, you're not racing yourself, right? You got other drivers racing for you in the Cup Series and in the Xfinity Series. So talk to us about the car ownership and what you expect out of your drivers.
Uh, Biggest talent any driver can have is an ability to have a sponsor to write a check. If you don't have the money, you can't do it. And that's why I'm not driving. I have to make my living off of the sport. And I've done kind of got a little old and fat, and I don't fit in the window as good as I used to. So that I, I've never really considered that I was retired. I have more going on uh, outside the car to make sure that whoever I'm putting in the car has a good time.
Yeah. So who's in the car this weekend at Talladega? I'm
David
certain you.
Starr.
What's that?
David Starr is driving our car at Talladega this weekend.
Oh, cool. David Scar. Well, I I I just admire a tall team like you, and I want to say it's a honor to get to talk to you. And so tell us how many employees do you have?
I think right now we're at 6. I used to be up to about 40, but now I'm down to 6.
Uh the the role in motorsports and the economy with jobs and stuff, I know it. Um I have a relative who does construction and we just cut down our employees. So it's like it's like I know what it's like to have 40 employees versus 6 employees. How do you get it done every weekend? You got
Yeah.
talented people helping you?
No, we just I got some guys from NTI um and Rev Racing, everybody that's kind of in a learning stage, and then I got one uh I guess one person that's been in racing longer than me, and he's kind of my shop foreman. It's Gary Showalter, and Gary and I, we know people in the sport, and we know how to do stuff, and so basically we're just hands on, putting the cars together and going to the track. I could have more employees. I could have a crew chief. I could have more people. The problem is when I've had more, it's not their business. They don't take care of it like I do because it's mine. And
Yeah.
their main goal is to get a paycheck at the end of the week. My goal is to get enough money to pay me and everybody, um, and not be left short-handed. But as an owner and stuff like that, if somebody's not going to get paid, it's going to be me.
Yeah. You gotta sacrifice that kind of stuff, it sounds like in racing.
Yeah, I've sacrificed a lot. Johnny Davis, Joey Gase. I know of a lot of us on the lower end right here that's just kind of struggling. So, uh, the next deal is to find, who wants to drive our cars and it has business connections enough to put sponsorship together. And we go to the racetrack like we ran with Chad Fincham this weekend, put sponsorship together to do that. Next weekend or this weekend coming up is David Starr. Um, and then I'm open at Dover where I had a deal for Omani Williams to drive, but his sponsors just haven't been able to send the money. So now here it is Tuesday evening, and then when I get off the phone here with you, I got a few calls to make to see if I can try to line up a driver with a sponsor.
I happen to know a good buddy of mine, Kyle Whitner, looking for a ride.
Kyle, who?
Whitner. Kyle
I
Whitner.
don't. Has he ever driven in Xfinity?
No, it would be his first ever start.
Well,
And
it won't be his first ever start. You can't just start in Xfinity.
yeah, yeah. He's looking to be a truck driver in North
Right.
Brookville.
Well, that's what's wrong with most of the people today. You just don't do this. If I told you I wanted you to be the quarterback for, um, I don't know where you're from over, but let's just say that the New York Jets, They need a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers didn't do on much, and you just decide that you've watched it enough at home on TV that you're going to go play quarterback for the Jets.
Yeah, I know it. Right?
That
Yeah.
turd does not flush. And these guys have got to realize it. Just because you're good on iRacing and PlayStation and you mashed reset when you crashed, that is not reality.
Yeah, that's not reality, but I know he's working hard to get every chance he's getting, and I know David. I talked to David Starr a little bit, and wanted to have him on, and David, I know he's got some history in racing, so talk to us about why you picked David as one of your drivers. What do you see in David in the uh later days of his career?
David and I, we worked together at Spears Motorsports in the early 2000s. I was a part of the team, and David was our driver. So we've known each other for a long time. But
Oh,
the main reason that David is here is because he treats sponsors well. He knows how to talk to people. He treats them with courtesy. And because of that, they are willing to sponsor David. And if they can sponsor David, then I need
and you
David as
got
my
me.
driver so that we can pay the tire bill and the engine bill to go to the track.
So you looking forward to Talladega with him on board this weekend? What are
Oh yeah,
you?
we're gonna be shitting and getting, buddy. We're gonna be going around there just a digging.
This is digging. I like your attitude, Paul. I love your attitude. Couple more questions and then I'll let you go. Are you are you looking to expand at any time your racing background? I mean, what's the plan for MBM Motorsports?
Well, MBM went from 4 Xfinity cars and a Cup car to just one something every week now. Either I'm with the 21 truck or my own truck, or the Cup car, the 66 Cup car, or the 66 Xfinity car. But I've got almost 70 race cars here at our facility, and I I don't know if I'm going to wind up vintage racing some of the old ones. But the whole key to everything is just business. It's a business model. And if I had 3 drivers that all had funding to put forward to go racing, we would go race 3 Xfinity cars or Xfinity car. It just depends on what it is, but they have to get approved. And what happens is a lot of the guys, they get to ARCA, they run in ARCA, they spend a lot of money. They think, okay, we'll go run trucks. They move up to the truck series. They spend a lot of money, and you got to spend a whole lot of money to have the best of the best. And then you come over to Xfinity, you don't get to practice. You get 10 minutes of practice on some tracks, and then you go qualify. You don't get to go take one of these cars to your local track and figure out how it drives. You're supposed to have enough experience. And they give out of money before they give out of a position sometime, because sponsors usually want to be involved with winners. So if you show up your first few races and you're running for me and we run 20th, I've had sponsors bail out because we didn't compete against Joe Gibbs. Well, I'm trying to run for $35,000, $40,000 a race, and Joe Gibbs is running at $200,000 a race. So
Mhm.
there's a difference. They have all the factory engineering, uh, factory support, and we don't. We just show up with the best knowledge that we can come up with, and go try to have a position in the field. And it's like going to Talladega with David. The draft equalizes a lot of stuff. We do have a Hendrick engine in our car, and fortunately, that we were able to find the funding to lease that engine. I think we have a good a shot to win Talladegas anywhere, and that's what keeps me motivated to going back to different tracks. But I believe David Starr has the opportunity to win Talladega this weekend.
Yeah. So you seem really fired up about Talladega? Is there anything else you want people to know about NBM Motorsports before we wrap up?
That we always, if you have a business that you want to promote through racing, we have a spot on our quarter panel and a seat that you could come hang out with us in a garage and be a part of it. But we're always looking, and not near as much money. We always just try to get $2,500 for one set of tires. That's what a set of tires costs. If somebody wants to come join us in the garage and be a part and buy us a set of tires, we can do it.
Well, hopefully that push for sponsorship has big enough on Full Throttle today, but thank you so much for coming on Full Throttle tonight, and we will talk to you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.
See you, Justin.